What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Loud Pedal Garage YouTube channel. I've taken a little hiatus working on house projects, moved into this new house and we've got a bunch of stuff we want to do to it. So I took a pause on the 914, jumped on that, got a bunch of stuff done. So now I'm going to try to get back on the 914 and get everything ready for the Ruclos Rally. So this video, I promised you that I was going to show the hellhole, exactly what that was, how it affects the car, and how bad mine is. So let's just get right into it. All right, so here's where we left off. The motor's out. I haven't done anything with it yet. I do have an engine yoke that I got from Brian at Craft. And we're gonna get this motor and trans picked up, taken outside, pressure washed. Then I'm gonna get it mounted up and then figure out what we gotta do to get these oil leaks to stop. I'll have a whole nother video on just the motor here real soon. Here, show you guys real quick what it looks like when your suspension console's in good shape. So on the driver's side, this looks really good. It was clean, so whenever I put this thing together, I primed it all to prevent any more rust. All of the mounting points are solid. There's really no rust in there, which is great. But then we'll go to the other side and I'll show you what that side looks like. All right, so here is what we have on this side. So whenever I got this car, it had some work done to it and there's all this black stuff. So it was caked all over this. I ground this down so we can see how bad it is and I can kind of show you guys. But all of this was covered up. You couldn't see any of that. This was actually looked solid, but it wasn't solid. Something, I don't know if something was shoved in there or if this just disintegrated on the drive back from Indianapolis. And then you see all of that outer suspension console is just trashed. So I've got to get all that fixed. There was a hole here and I'd planned on fixing it, but I knew that I had to do a bunch of work on the inside and I had to get the motor out to do that. So that was on hold. I knew that this was going to have to be done. I didn't realize it was this bad. It's bad. What it did was when this cracked and caved in, it caused this essentially to move up. And that caused this rear wheel to camber and ride on just the inside of this wheel. So, I mean, we're lucky that we made it home. It did feel a little squirrely, had maybe some bump steer introduced to it because of the camber, not real sure. But yeah, we're gonna get this fixed. I do have some parts on order. I have this entire piece ordered. Unfortunately, nobody that I can find makes this or this. So I'm gonna have to make my own. Tangerine Racing does offer a tubular racing complete console kit for cars that are lowered, and it's pretty expensive and I can actually build exactly what they've built. I'm just gonna have to build my own fixtures to locate everything. So that's kind of what I'm thinking right now. That may change, but I think that the big thing is just get all of this cut out, assess everything, and figure out where we're gonna go from there. All right, so now we're gonna look at the cause of my hellhole issue and probably 90% of the hellhole issues that 914 suffer from. So, if you can see, that battery tray is completely rusted in half. See there, the whole back of that battery tray is rusted. Of course, that comes from old batteries, leaking acid, rainwater coming down the engine cover, washing that acid down the battery cover, and it just sitting there and rotting it out. Once it rots out the battery cover, then it migrates down to that section right in there, that is actually what's referred to as the hellhole. It's pretty much gone. It's non-existent in mine. The hole is the whole thing. And on this car, it also apparently had rotted out the inner suspension console, and whoever did the wonderful job of fixing the outer console last time, looks like they just took some metal plate and welded that up, and they made it, at least they made it solid. You know, I understand a lot of people don't fix things right, but at least that one was done solid, rather than just smearing that black stuff over the outer suspension console and allowing it to fail. So, I mean, that kind of explains how that happens and how that all migrates down. And a lot of times it'll migrate down and just destroy the longs. That long isn't in the best shape. And the longs are the horizontal pieces that are actually essentially the frame. It's what the floor attaches to, it's what the door sill attaches to, and it actually gives the car its strength. So mine aren't terrible. They're bad in the one spot where the hellhole is, and I made a patch for that and I put it on there. But now the new piece that I'm getting is that half of that inner fender well, the place where the suspension console mounts, and half of the long. And so I'm gonna go ahead and just replace it all with the piece that I bought. And there's a company that's not too far from me. He's probably an hour away. It's called 914 Unlimited. And Brad, that owns that company, makes a long strengthening kit. And it's essentially some plates of steel that go on the outside. They've got holes drilled in it, and you clean your long up and you sandwich these over it, weld it on, and they're like twice as thick as the longs are. And the way that it all ties together, it really stiffens up the car. So I may do that, or I may get some 2x4 square tubing and lay it down so it's 4 inches wide, 2 inches tall, and then just replace the entire bottom of the long with that piece of square tubing. And also when I cage it, then I can cut a hole through the top of the long, slide the cage down in it, weld it up to that 2x4 square tubing. That way I know I've got everything solid. My seat mounts also would tie into that 2x4, so that if anything ever happened, the seat wouldn't be coming loose. It's not like it's bolted to the floor. So I might go that route. We'll see. This week, I'm gonna get the car down. I'm gonna get everything washed up. I'm gonna get the garage cleaned up and set up, and the car in here sideways, so I've got lots of room to work around it and film. And then I'm just gonna start cutting into it, and I'll take you guys along for the ride. Hopefully we can get this thing fixed. So now that I'm done with this video, I'm gonna film a wheel video because I've got my tires here, I got my wheels fixed. I'm gonna get that all taken care of. That video will be up probably this weekend or maybe the beginning of next week. So get these videos rolling again, and thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, share it on social media, let your friends know that are into cars, or even if they're not into cars, just force it on them. So I appreciate all of the positivity, everybody's words of encouragement, and thanks guys. I'll see you guys later.